My name is Bill Pardue, and I am the author of Wolf Creek, a true story of my survival in the wilderness while surrounded by 10 emotionally disturbed delinquent teenagers who would rather run me off or kill me than accept me as their leader. In 1971, I started a job as a wilderness camp counselor for delinquent teenage boys, mostly from the Southside of Chicago. Among these boys are sociopaths, psychopaths, animal mutilators, and former gang members. They were young men who had been discarded by society due to their violent natures, which were both unpredictable and uncontrollable. They had been kicked out of the Chicago juvenile system, the Illinois juvenile system, and the Boys Ranch in Texas. As a result of that, they had been sent to a wilderness camp in East Texas, a remote part of East Texas woods. And they had reached the end of their road, really, in the backwoods of East Texas, where I, together with other counselors that had been hired to take care of these boys, first met them. And our jobs were to, number one, tame them, keep them from hurting each other, keep them from hurting us, and to try to bring them back into a normal society, which is something that they had not had the opportunity to do in the settings that they had been in. A wilderness camping environment was meant to instill self-confidence and self-esteem in these young men and to show them love and what a family could be like, because most of them had never been exposed to a family, and they did not know what that felt like. And they had very few people in their lives that they could trust. So our job was to tame them, to get them together as a group, as a tribe, and have them trust each other and to quit harming themselves and everybody else that came in contact with them. So ultimately, we went on mountain climbing trips, canoe trips, backpacking trips. And all of those trips were meant to instill self-confidence in them, their ability to do difficult things under difficult circumstances, including surviving flash floods, gang fights, and just overall living in the wilderness without the amenities of society. In the end, we could see a change in the boys. Their increased self-esteem and self-confidence was a result of them having to take care of their own basic needs: cooking, cleaning, building. They built structures, they built outhouses, they built bunkhouses, they built their bunks themselves, they built a kitchen. And then, the extreme end of it was them surviving a flash flood in Arkansas, and doing that with no food, no directions of where they were, no telephonic communication with anybody. So those things brought the boys together, and it taught them that they too had valuable assets within themselves to manage their future lives. And so, if from my perspective, the boys taught me more than I ever taught them. And what I showed them was I showed them love. I showed them responsibility. I showed them, just how to do the right things and which things were right and which things were not. Were we 100% effective? I think we were in certainly some of the smaller things and with some of the boys and some of the larger things. So it is a interesting read. It is all true. It's not anything that could be done now just because of the circumstances of how society has changed in the last 40 years. So, that's my book. It's a great book. It's going to make you cry. And I didn't put any lipstick on anything in this book, so it's all as it happened. And I would like to, I've been doing this self-publishing work for 12 years, and I have some sense of what the industry is like. I have to say that Books to Life marketing has given me confidence in self-publishing to move forward with where I needed to move forward, because they were very businesslike. If they told me they were going to do something, they did it, and they did it in a timely fashion. And so I trust them. And if you're looking for a good publisher for your book, somebody to market your book, these are the people that I believe can do it. And I have certainly put my trust in them after walking through the jungle of self-publishing for the last 12 years. So thank you to Books to Life. And this book can be found on Amazon. Books to Life has republished it for me. They did really an exceptional job, and they got insight into the book itself. And that shows in the way they put the cover together and the way they've dealt with all aspects of it. So I would like to thank them. The book is going to be available on Amazon. It's going to be available at Books to Life, and it will be available at other booksellers. And at this point, I can't tell you what those were, but so thank you for your time, and I'd appreciate your consideration of Wolf Creek as a really good read. All right, thank you.